Emblem sounds like he is the drive-through guy.
What do you want? Welcome to
The
Welcome
audio
to
quality
Magnum King.
dropped. Lol. Yeah, it did.
Welcome to Magnum King. What can I get for you?
We don't have
Welcome
subscriptions
to
on this
Emblem
one.
Burger, home of the Emblem Burger.
Take your order.
Get a number 2 combo, please. Would you like to intensify that combo today?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yes, it's got to be a thing now.
Give me the home burger with intensified sauce.
Yes.
How much sauce would you like? Intensify. Yes, sir.
Give me the Valheim special.
Yes.
Would you like a tree to spawn in your house, or would you like me to just swing a hammer in it?
Ideally, I'd like you to just skewer a boar in front of me.
Fantastic.
Oh my
Very intensify.
Extra heavy swing.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another episode of Downtime in the Hangar, where we talk about all things GBO2 and Tangent a lot. Something tells me about Valheim this time. But anyway, today I'm joined by Gustav the 13th.
Yep.
And GamingEmblem.
No Magnums allowed.
None.
No.
Never.
Okay, fine. I'm well here, guys. I gotta go.
Oh no. Well, that's fine, because everybody's healing.
All right, have a good night.
But anyway, how's your past week?
Good. Snowy as fuck. We've been lucky, haven't lost power, but pretty much just snowed in for a couple days. It's subsided here, but I'm sure it hasn't in other places.
Yeah. It's
Besides that, just continuing with Yakuza 6, we're pretty much in the cleanup area, doing sub stories and side missions as much as we can. Trying to set a deadline for myself for the end of this week, for when we just bite the bullet and do the finale, and then from there we'll move on to Like a Dragon.
Train.
Train.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
All right, the train is cleared up enough.
Okay. He was muted.
Kind of just been running Waldheim with some of the guys. Didn't know this game existed until everyone just like, hey, that game's out. I'm like, oh, what game? And they're like, oh, Waldheim. And I was like, oh, okay, let's check it out then, I guess, or whatever. And just been playing that with you guys, actually, as well as
this is true.
as well as Aoshi and Kasa. We had like the ever so slightest cameo from Hikaru. It was great.
Wait, Hikaru actually logged on?
Yeah. It was right after you left.
Miracle.
Yeah, Hikaru, like
the mythical Hikaru.
Yeah.
When?
Like, is Magnum gone? And I was like, yeah, man, he's gone. It's safe now.
When?
Yeah.
When was this? Was this yesterday?
No, I think it was a couple of days ago now.
Okay. Because I think
yesterday, but it was like literally that one day when you were. It might have been yesterday. It was that day you're like, I've been up playing video games too long.
Oh no, that was 2 days ago. Yeah, that was mistakes were made. I decided to play with Gustav for all night.
And okay.
And then I was like, oh.
That's a massive expedition for a whole lot of nothing.
Yeah. Then I mean, hey, we found a swamp area to go to, so that'll be cool.
Oh, the fucking death joggers on another island too.
Oh my gosh, that was terrifying.
And apparently we almost got mauled by a sea monster.
Although
did, baby.
I think he hit me, so I'm not that scared of him. Because remember, I was like failing to. Yeah, I was failing to jump in the boat, so I don't know if he hit me or not. I can't remember if he hit me or not, and I didn't have any.
Oh no, the jogger hit the shit out of you.
But he didn't one-shot me, is my point. So he doesn't
one-shot
me when I'm naked.
As long as you can get the parry, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was naked with no armor or anything on. So if I could survive then yeah. This time though, we're probably gonna get sea monstered apparently, because that's apparently a thing.
Check for tentacles.
Oh no, I'm terrified to see what comes out of the water. Like, yeah. So a friend of mine was like, I could tell you, and I'm like, no, don't do it. But yeah, what else have you been up to, Emblem?
Oh my god, he's still in there.
But yeah, outside of that, Valheim the boys, more GBO2. I'm in a constant struggle against the world to maintain S minus.
Oh well, though.
But like outside of that, just the usual stuff, loud trains, gaming, trying to finish a few things up, um, and just try to play a little bit more. Like I really need to stop getting too caught up. Like Battle Operation, I can say is definitely my game where I get the most views or whatever. But I like to play some other stuff sometimes a little bit more too. So something I need to probably try to work on being a little bit more proactive at doing. So I keep having games where like I'll start, like Yakuza or something else like that, and then I'll just kind of like gravitate back over to GBO2 and not finish it. I really need to try to work on those some more. That's gonna happen anytime soon, but eventually.
And it's usually why I just keep them as like secondary playthrough games just to make myself like get on it.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing too. I just need to get better at even keeping up with that as well.
Yeah, I try to do like a day where I'll do just kind of have it
Oh,
scheduled
shit, they
and
make a
planned
whole
to do
bunch of
like
mead.
4 hours. So like the what was one of the last ones I did? Well, Cyberpunk was one of the last ones, but um I was kind of disappointed enough in that I've just yeah
Me.
yeah. But but yeah. Anything else?
That's about it though. I mean, outside of that, just the usual work stuff and whatever. Those of y'all, with accounts and stuff, be careful. Fraud's on the rise.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a lot of fraud at the bank.
Oof.
A lot of criminal individuals.
Yeah, look out for them criminals trying to take all of your paycheck, your whole
Mm,
money.
McCrimnus.
Yep, not just half your money or part of your money, your whole money.
The whole ass money.
All of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been doing, of course, Valheim, some more Valheim and Valheim. And then before that, though, when it was the weekend, I decided to make a Path of Exile video and have fun playing a strat for making money.
Dun,
And
dun, dun.
turns out, I went from 2x initial investment to 15x,
Damn.
and about well, the first time it took me about 5 hours to do. So yeah, but the I did it again because a friend of mine went in 50-50 because I didn't know how profitable this would have been. 'Cause I know it's been profitable before, and it looked crazy, and I was like, this could be insane. I'm not sure. But apparently it's actually went down in value since the beginning of the league, which is crazy because that means because the coin price didn't really change at all. So it's like you could have been making like triple, double, or triple the money for the same investment, and I'm just kind of like, what? What? So, yeah, might try to do this again at the beginning of next league with how good this was. I'm probably gonna try it again when I get back on Path of Exile after I get, not when I'm not playing Valheim.
Oh boy.
That's been the big problem with Valheim is it's just like I get addicted to these survival games and like want to build and
So
do this
fucking
and
time sink.
farm whatever, and yeah, and time sink is definitely a good way to describe it. But yeah, with Path of Exile though, Emblem, did you ever do any prophecy stuff? You know what that is?
I mean, I've done prophecies at some point in time. If we're just talking about the general act of
Yeah.
fulfilling them in the game.
So essentially the strat was you just do prophecy farming, which you block the ones, you fill up all the other slots with useless ones, and then you spawn the good ones, and then you spawn everything else and just move it to your inventory as fast as possible. Spawn a new one, seal it, put it in your inventory. Well, the thing is, there's chains. So, do you remember prophecy chains? Like,
you're talking
Deadly
about the ones that
Rivalry
like
1,
you do part
Deadly
1, then
Rivalry
it goes to
2.
part 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, the part 5s, they've got some not only uniques but crafting recipes tied to them, and some good items as well. So, doing those, apparently they nerfed the rate at which you find them now when you try to seek a prophecy. So they went up incredibly in value. So
Hey.
every time you would get to a part 5, that's about, when I was doing it, 1x. At the beginning of the league, that was 2 and 3x, which is kind of insane when you think about it. Like, and again, I only invested into 2x worth of coins when I did it. So, but yeah, like the 15x off of that. So right now I've got like somewhere between 22, I'd say, and 30x, and that's just raw currency. That's not even the like 6 stash tabs of prophecies that I got to sell when I finally get on and actually sort them out. So without even sort time at all, I've made that much money. They've got a new program out where you can pretty much put your stash tabs through your own character's API, and it'll go ahead and kind of calculate what money you got. So the estimated value that I've got is somewhere like between 30 and 40x. So with all the prophecies,
Magnum.
if I sell them, that's the problem. I still got to sort through them. So I'm gonna like put a clock on how long it takes me to sort. Then I'm gonna probably make a follow-up video being like, oh yeah, so if you want to do the second part, it then be like, it was either way too tedious and I'm never doing that again, or you know, it was completely worth it because I'm rich now. So one of those is gonna happen.
Right.
Magnum with the ultimate bait makes a video telling you how to get rich, and then makes it a 2-parter. What a player!
Oh yeah, the ultimate brand strategy. Next, he'll be saying to buy his book.
The funny thing is though, is I'm also kind of making the 2-part to kind of try to re-explain it again, because immediately, like one of the first comments was like, "So how does this work?" I listened to the TLDR section of the video, and I don't understand. And I'm just like,
you're just like looking at it like,
something?
did I have a stroke? Like what happened?
Did I miss something? What did I not say? So I'm listening back to it. I'm like, yep, checks out, makes sense. Okay. My checklist has been, everything that I wanted in the video in that section is there. I don't know what, and then a friend of mine listens to it and he's like, yeah, dude, I had to listen to it like 3 times. I'm like, what? What is this?
Language is a powerful thing.
In my brain, it makes complete sense. What do you mean? So yeah. So oops. But
Magnum's over here like, you need to have a little bit more swing, whenever you're attacking. It's like, what do you mean? What am I doing wrong? Not enough whoosh,
Not enough downswing, neutral, stun. This is just every time you describe a combo in fucking GBO2 in a nutshell.
Oh, you didn't downswing your teammate. Wait, what? You missed your teammate. You fucked up.
Oh man. Okay. Touche then. Which the funny thing is, I feel like that's Path of Exile, explaining Path of Exile in general anyway, normally. So I was like, okay, I've definitely broke this down. I think this is super easy to understand. And then I'm like, nope, mission failed. Like immediately. Like 10 minutes after I put the video out, it was like, mission failed. It was just straight up the...
We'll get him next time.
Yeah, I was just like, oh man.
Next time is the next video. Like, hold on, I got this.
Yeah, so that's the other motive for doing a follow-up for that.
For extra conveyance.
Hopefully. But but yeah, so that was pretty much the big strat there. So it's a little bit of tedium. There's a couple of tricks to make it easier. Like you can actually shrink your windows so that your inventory is closer to the prophecy window. So you just got to click and barely move your mouse to put things in, kind of thing. So there's a few extra tricks to do, but yeah, the second time I did it with my friend's currency, because I said I was gonna go ahead and split 50-50, so why not? And um, yeah, it pretty much ended up taking 3 hours the second time, so 8 hours total for like one good day of playing for that much.
Mhm.
Not bad. I'll take it. Um, given though more advanced strategies and stuff, this league is making like 1,000x a day, so yeah. But anyway, what else? That's pretty much been it. That and Valheim. I mean, I think there's probably something else I'm forgetting, but yeah, those two things were the biggest things. Oh, yeah, snow and ice and snow and ice. Yeah, that's right. We actually had the podcast
Oh,
last
Nice
week
stuff.
because I was afraid that power was going to go out, and it didn't. Hallelujah. And then I know some of my friends in Texas. A friend of mine, he sent me a message saying that its power was out for 31 hours where he was at.
Mhm.
So yeah, definitely have been having some bad eye stuff, but we've got another like 5 inches of snow pretty much from last night. And then guess what? Power went out.
Hey.
So
Thankfully, it wasn't out for too long,
oh my
though.
gosh, I was like, man, well, so I was like, come on, dog, let's go to the basement. So I got like the gas heater set up and stuff, and so I had a nice little area that was warm, and I pretty much made a tent in my basement.
Mm.
But yeah, so I was prepped. I was ready to go.
Bring your dog. We're going camping.
I'm just glad everything was good on your end. I know the power being out can be kind of rough, so that's good that at least for your case, it wasn't anything too serious. Let's hope it doesn't escalate.
Yeah, like I'm probably good for a while. I mean, but the thing is, I've I've dealt with
Actually, yeah.
situations like this, and also, you know, um, having grandparents who lived in worse conditions also
Mhm.
kind of helps because they're just like, what, you guys like power? We didn't have power back in my day.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that kind of thing. It's just like, yeah, fair enough, fair enough. So how do you survive without power kind of thing came up, a ways back. So
We went
everybody,
Valheim on a bitch. That's
yeah,
how we
pretty
did it.
much, exactly, dude. You got to look out for those wolves outside in the snow. But yeah, Valheim's gonna come up a lot during this. But other than that, luckily it wasn't too long. And I think it's finally over. I think that's it. I think it's supposed to clear up by the weekend and warm up a bit.
Mm.
So hopefully everybody gets power that still doesn't have it, and everything gets taken care of pretty quick. Because man, this one was a rough one. I haven't seen as far as affecting people this much around these
Mhm.
areas in a long time. But
Yeah, like we got a lot of snowfall, but I feel like for once, at least our county here got off pretty easy.
I mean, the big deal was just the ice too. So that was like,
Yeah, like that's the bigger thing.
up north, I know they got more snow, but then we got more ice initially, but then they got hit harder. It was a little bit, if you get enough ice to where the power goes out, then that's all it needs to ruin everything. So the ice storms is where it gets rough. I got some pictures though, that I posted from where I went outside and was just like, man, look at all this. Sadly, my tree wall behind the house is kind of falling apart. Like that was, and took out one of my pines, man. I've had those pines since I was a kid. So,
Feels bad, man. Your pines are now gone. You hate to see it. Are you gonna plant more? They'll be there
maybe,
eventually.
but Like one of my pines. I got one left back there, and it was the one in the picture that's still standing right next to the one. But they dominoed, dude. Like I know we
Oh,
were
shit.
playing when
like
we were playing,
Waldheim.
but no,
Like,
for real.
oh,
Oh my
no.
gosh,
Yeah,
I'm
because you
done.
said you heard it
I'm
too,
done.
right? Like,
No
don't
magnums
go.
allowed. I'm out.
That was allowed.
Oh
That's
my
right.
gosh. No, we were playing Valheim and I was like, what in the world happened? What kind of tree fell? I thought it hit the house or it hit my
Sorry,
neighbor's.
I was trying to
Okay, Ed,
spawn a
something.
tree in your home.
Like you're knocking down shit all the time, you just turn around. What the fuck? What did I do?
Look at your character in game. Was that me?
Oh my gosh. I don't know how I spawned that tree in your house. Like, well, it didn't spawn in your house. The weird part
No, you fucking
is it
flung it at him.
flung and then it
Yeah,
like
like he said.
slowed down a little bit and just stuck and like went in and then fell over. And I was like, what? How? What? Physics just got broke completely.
Also, on a more GBO2 related note, GS3 has now hit 190. Congratulations, everybody.
Ooh, congrats. But yeah, the those three trees fell over, and that's what that loud sound was. That's why I had to be like, guys, I'll be back. Something bad just happened. So yeah, it turns out
Houston,
3
we have a
frozen trees
problem.
falling over and snapping into pieces makes a loud boom.
No way.
Perhaps even a crack thum. Yes.
But anyway, yeah. So, you have which one, Gustav?
I had the L.
Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the L.
Okay. Checking my hanger real quick, sorry.
So yeah, what do you think of the L?
This is good. I will say, right off the bat, and I'll try to show it in like a training thing real quick. But the neutral being like a down stab, as if you're doing the Gabaldi beta, no, not beta, the alpha's downswing, is a little rough. But it definitely has a lot of travel on its downswing in general.
Is it fast? Like the neutral though?
It is fast, but because of the sheer size of the lance itself, it also like clips and goes almost too far down. Like it doesn't have a lot of reach in most situations because of that.
Yeah,
Well, I mean
from a
what
little
about
bit
the
I played
neutral
of it.
though? The neutral
That's
thing
what
you're
we're
talking
talking
about. Oh, okay. So
That's what I'm
okay.
talking about.
Oh,
It's just
interesting.
akin to the alpha's downswing, so that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
In fact, I'll be in a minute. Here we go.
Yeah, here, let me go ahead and
But the bigger
Yeah.
thing is that the downswing, because it travels so much, when you do the hard swing, because this does have another charge swing, much like the Gen 3 close combat. Hard swings are a little tough to cancel out of. I think they just have you complete the whole thing. So this means you're gonna be a bit of a wrecking ball for both the enemy and friendlies alike in some situations. Because it goes stabbing and then you can't really like get out until you're in that hang time.
Yeah, the charge attack is pretty much just a 2-hit combo. That's the neutral into an enhanced version of the downswing.
Yep, much like the CC. The only real difference is that you had that twirl in between, but it just goes into the downswing. The
I like to
the
see
saber
C's heavy
has some
attack a little
good
bit
reach
better.
on it. Yeah, I mean, I kind of said it for the CC. The initial like swing or wind up is nice, especially since you can nail somebody right off rip when they're close. But if
Follow-up
you
is kind of hard.
if they give you some distance, that wind up can get you into trouble. This, I feel like it at the very least the neutral is so fast before it just goes into the yeet that even if you just want the yeet, you can just do it around the corner. They may or may not see it just because it's clipping through the floor, and then you just get the rest of the travel time, and then you're fine anyway.
Right.
Because they're a little bit less flourish or like ceremony to it, just because of that. Okay, and also this is a good attempt to test it as any, but it has shoulder cannons. Finally, something that has these shoulder cannons that lets you use the fucking One of them has a goddamn saber, unlike the double Zeta series. Also should be noted that this the Lance only has one attack. You don't combo controller with that, but you do with the secondary. And you can get 3 swings out of that.
That's cool.
Let's see. So shoulder cannons 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoop. Really? Did I just space
Holy
that out
shit.
bad? Did it not at all? Hold on. Let me get that. Maybe I just went too slow. There's no way that just doesn't stun, right?
It doesn't. The raid one doesn't stun. And
Like at all.
like I looked up the
Oh, okay.
I was actually looking at the percentage and it's why is it so low? It's 5% per
What?
like
Actually,
per
let me
beam.
do it. Let me do it on something that I
Huh.
haven't shot yet. That's crazy. Like, holy
'Cause
shit.
we were talking about it last night. Because like Salty was testing the blue, I was doing the red. He was talking about how like, good the cannons were. I was like, I can't stun anything with these.
Yeah, it's definitely supposed to be like more of a finisher, but even then, like the thigh beams on some of the Zeta series stuff does stun. So by comparison, that's kind of rough.
I mean, the percentage is at least okay, I think, on
Well,
the
you have to be
A1.
flying, don't you? With the A1 to stun with the thigh beams? Because
I
I don't
mean,
think they do
Both
it.
of
I
them,
don't
I'm
think
pretty sure
from
they do it
mobile.
on neutral.
no, the A1 doesn't. Like you will just. I mean, it has like I think probably like 30 or 40 if you by the time you hit them with all 3 shots
Mm,
overall. But it's yeah, it's not 5% at least, but it's you're not going to stagger somebody with them.
yeah. So I think a lot of the stuns I was seeing with this was just incidental because it was like people cumulatively hit him.
Yeah.
So that's fair. Oh,
I personally think those cannons
chonky.
are more for it's like what I was kind of comparing it to was kind of like how I played a Mark V, where
Mm,
like depending on the range I'm in, I'll either do a ranged poke and then you can follow up with the cannons for a little bit of extra damage when you can't quite get in there to melee. And then once you're close enough, you just take into Pain Town or whatever. But like I think in that regard, it's just more of like a decent
6.
mid-range follow-up when you can't quite get in, or just
Mhm.
something to do whenever the
That
general
way you're
decides they
still
want to beat a raid.
contributing damage, or like if it's someone's out of your range for melee and they're like running or whatever, you can just like tap them.
Yeah, like you said, potential finisher. I think it's more of a harassment tool,
Mhm.
Yeah.
just to keep the raid or the support on their toes, because you have decent damage output. Um, and the range is
Like, here's
it's
a preview,
400,
bitch. I'm coming.
so that's like not. I don't think it's the worst thing ever. In regards to range, like that's not bad at all.
I think another thing too we could go ahead and talk about real quick is they both have the same weapons. Um, the main difference is really their skills that they have. And isn't there a second main hand weapon with the twin saber? They both have that?
There is, yeah.
Okay.
I have it on my I rolled it on my JP account, but I don't have it on the main.
My
But
question is
if I remember right, the power was 1800
yes.
on the level 1.
Does it have a charge attack? Because the main hand weapon is the spear, right?
They didn't
It's a
showcase it to
spear.
be, so I'm assuming no. And if that's the
Yeah,
case,
I
then that
can't
means
check,
that you'd
unfortunately.
that means that it's essentially just turns into another striker like suit. Because you just don't have that charge to lean on, you're just doing regular like combos between your melee.
Yeah, that's
Which
kind
you
of
can do with the lance, but the lance also only has a single strike. Which kind of makes it a little bit rough. I guess it's more akin to like if you were using the scythe, unlike the striker regular.
Well, the damage output is pretty good.
Shame that
On
it
the
doesn't
raid.
do heavy stagger in that case, actually. I didn't think about that, but that would have been probably a little too much since it can also do the heavy attack.
Mm.
Also, that Cabaldi Alpha rifle getting a lot of mileage.
New suit, slap the bald guy beam gun on it.
Yeah, get that instant stun in there. There you go.
I also saw the comment that the blue also has the twin beam, so it can have a
Oh
charge
yeah.
attack, but it also has a spear. So
Well, it wouldn't get a charge attack in general. So heavy attack is a skill.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying.
That's
Like
where
heavy
that's the
attack,
skill.
yeah,
comes from.
the charges comes from the skill, not the weapon. Yeah. So
Right.
Yeah.
that's the question. I wonder.
But just to make a point, both
Retroactively
suits
just
shared a
add.
double sword, but they have their own lance.
Oh,
Yeah.
they do. Okay.
They do. Mhm.
Huh. So I mean, is the lance named something different for each, or?
Yeah, it's I'd look it up exactly, but when I got the double glaive or the double beam saber on my JP account, I got the level 2 version of the blue suit's lance, and I thought it was a bug at first because it only showed one portrait. I was like, "What the fuck?" But the names are like it's like Gaz L, Gaz R, Heat Lance, or
Yeah.
whatever the usual naming scheme kind of deal. But they each have their own lance.
Interesting. Huh. But yeah, that's pretty much the only differences. So I guess we could go ahead and talk about the stats for the raid version and skills and percentages.
And I'll back up.
I will say though, I do think the suits, while they have a somewhat similar feel, just because the weapon sets are the same, I do think the general, for instance, like definitely wants to get in there. Like it seems like I don't know. I'm still on the fence about it. I think the general
Okay.
feels kind of like a balanced bald guy beta right
No,
now,
you're right.
just because like you lose priority 3, you only have priority 2. It just still has the primary stun and secondary stun in the form of like the beam rifle, and then the secondary being the cannons instead of the wrist rockets. But the cannons, while the damage is a little bit higher, you have to stand still to fire, whereas you can move with the other one. Um, and
Yeah.
it's interesting. Like I think it can frontline though, at the very least.
Yeah. I mean, it's doable.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that here in a minute. That was pretty
I guess
much.
the rough thing, and also I guess just to pull back for a second, it's the beta rifle because it's ammo based.
Right.
It's not heat based, which means 3 shots and you what's the cooldown time on this? Reloads 12 seconds. So between that and then getting like a burst out of shoulder cannons on the general. Unless you're really aggressive with your melee, you're gonna have a little bit of downtime, especially if you're not seeing a lot of opportunities to get in.
The downtime being the hangar.
Perhaps if you get your ass whooped. God, I wish I had it on my other account because I actually didn't get the either of the gases on Ginny, but I did get that other twin saber.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the raid's an interesting spot too. Like,
Mm.
I would just stress people playing it not to fall into the trap that a lot of players fall into with the close combat GM3. You don't really want to be just holding a full charge and waiting for a victim. You have a pretty solid move set. Definitely would suggest anybody running to suit to use it. Like nice easy to use, like instant stun options. The weapon itself seems pretty good.
Yeah, both 2000 plus on the melee for the heat lance, and 2000 exact for the large beam saber. Do you want to just run down the numbers for the L, or?
Yeah, let's go through the L first, and then we'll kind of give our thoughts on what we think about the L, and then we can just run through the numbers on the R and do the same thing.
Okay. So baseline 500 cost, we're talking 16,500 health. Ballistic resistance 13, beam resistance 13, melee resistance 28, range strength of 5, melee strength of 45, movement speed is 135, top speed, high speed maneuver is 220, thruster gauge is 65, and turning speed is 72. So definitely has some reaction time on there. Part slots. Close is 19, medium is 10, and long is 7.
Hmm.
Beam Cannon times 2 also has 700 power, a range of 300. The top range on this is 400 because of its rifle. And decent switch time between the melee weapons on here. We're talking about skills. We're looking at High Performance Balancer level 1, High Spec AMBAC level 1, Maneuver Armor level 2, Forced Injector level 2, Melee Combo Controller level 2, Heavy Attack level 1. I wonder if we're ever going to get more levels of that. Anti-Blast Stabilizer level 1, Emergency Evasion System level 1, Flight Control Program level 2, High Performance Radar level 1, and Special Left Shoulder Buffer Armor level 2. Just in case you get hit in the shoulder dongle.
The shoulder dongle.
So, looking here at kind of the also, what's the stagger values on? Oh yeah, you already said 5%. Never mind. So yeah.
Yeah.
I guess we can talk about its competition then.
Everything, because it's another 500 suit.
I was gonna say
It even has to compete with the other heavy attack suit because the level 2 goes to 500. Even if they want to try to swing up at it at undercost, it has to deal with the CC and a bunch of other shit, especially since it's at 550 as well, which means it has to deal with Dryzens, which is going to be the bane of this thing's existence for most of those matches.
But then there's the Georgia that it'll
And the Bawu.
and then at 550, yeah, the Bawu. 500, you got the Georgia, I guess, Striker Custom, and then the Close Combat.
Level 2 is going to have to deal with Zeku Lions hitting it from range, especially with that rocket launcher just chunking its legs or whatever.
Also, kind of looking at stats for life and resist and stuff. The Georgia, for instance, has ballistic resist 9, so it does beat on that. But everything else, Georgia has more health and effective HP, which is kind of interesting. My question is, does it feel like? I mean, do we actually have the damage numbers to one combo somebody in this suit?
I think so. Like, that thing doesn't hit lightly. I mean, and granted, this was against the practice suit, but I was able to stun the gun cannon support, hit it with the saber down swing, do the lance down swing, and then just hit with the saber down swing again. Like the hitbox on the beam sabers is actually a pretty big beam saber, and it has a little bit of a Phantom-y, Federation-y style hitboxitude to it also.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. How much does the full charge attack do in one
It's about in the same boat. Like you're looking at I think when I was hitting people with it last night, I was doing somewhere in the neighborhood of 10,000 damage.
Okay, that is
when hitting with both attacks.
terrifying. Then
It's actually a
because
little bit more.
Oh.
I know I would see some people.
That's like
bringing
over
in-
75% on a gun cannon. Like, damn, dude.
Okay, yeah, that's gross. I just saw it on my end. So yeah, I guess I wonder. I think this will be better than seeing 50 lower cost close combats in 550, because every now and then I would see where I'm playing the MLRS, I see a close combat come in, 50 cost down at 550, and I'm like, no, what are you doing here? Get out. Luckily, they're squishy enough that I can pretty much kill them on my own if I can catch them right. But if they even hit me, because that heavy attack just goes through shields, it's so gross. Like, I don't want to see anything like it. I don't know. Like this heavy attack thing is just way too good versus things like the MLRS.
I mean, you're already too much of a problem and you need to die more often, so.
Shh.
Because you're an MLRS, and we always talk about how disgusting the
Oh my
MLRS is, and the
gosh,
fact
I
that it's pretty
know.
much locked in the meta for supports at that
man.
cost range.
Mhm.
So
I
yeah, it
do like
doesn't
having
get any
heavy attack
mercy.
at the lower cost.
Oh
I
man,
love
heavy
how
attack
hard
at
it
lower
shuts
cost would
out
be
the
amazing.
Hildolfer and the assault gun tank. And honestly, that's more to close combat. So I feel like I don't see it at the pushed up cost as much. But
Mhm.
when you see the Hildolfer or whatever rolling around, it's just like, well, time to charge.
What are
That's a
you
good time to
gonna
charge.
do, right?
Yeah. Like, what's he gonna do to stop me? He's in tank mode.
He's gonna do deja vu with me. Turn his
Yeah,
volume up,
pretty
like
much.
nah.
Hey, I don't know. I like playing the Hildoffer against the close combat. That's what I was actually running when it came out a lot.
Hmm.
Because you can just
He
knee
got
stagger it.
some good moments in customs and felt himself afterwards.
True. I know that one match Magnum was playing and I was in and I was farming them. So, I don't know. Every time I've seen it, just like free food, you just go in and murder.
I mean, there was like 5 of you, so yeah. I mean, there was one of them would get to me. That's the thing with the close combat though. If it gets on you, you're just you're dead.
Yeah, short of the dude like just not having enough brain cells, it's almost an inevitability. At least once you're gonna like hear that crackling behind you, and you're just gonna get nailed.
But yeah. So yeah, seeing the actual damage numbers, that was kind of my concern because yesterday it didn't feel too, which I was playing in general, so yeah, but it didn't feel too impressive. So I was kind of curious to see if it had that. But yeah, other than that, the cannons just being poked. I guess my final thoughts on it, um, on the raid version anyway, is uh curious to see how it compares to people playing stuff like the Georgia and I guess the close combat. Um, and then really curious to see how it compares to something like the Babu at 550. The main thing again, just now I'm actually scared playing the MLRS this week. So
Babu's gonna be a little scary to deal with in this suit, I feel. Like unless you get that rifle hit right away, it's got a lot of shit to barf at you before you even close in. So it has a lot more opportunities to just also turn the tide and just get on you.
but yeah, what do you guys think about this suit? What's your thoughts on it?
It's probably gonna be dry some food.
What do you think about the 500 one?
500 is definitely gonna be in a good spot. It still has to compete with the CC, but that's not a big deal.
I still think I would favor the Georgia at 500.
Oh yeah, I mean always, but also fuck it because it's starting to become the MLRS of its cost for raids. Like the answer is always going to be Jarja, and I'm kind of tired of hearing it.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean that is one, I guess, sort of good
That's
thing
just
about.
what meta kind of thing, though, right?
Well,
Like
yeah,
variety versus just like raw meta.
but I mean at the same time, that's one thing I guess kind of good that comes out of a gotcha system is the charge is the big deal, but you might have to just take what you got this week in that half off spin.
Right? Cross your fingers and just for those of us who can't whale. And that's where those whack comps come from, right? As much as I cringe or like get rough about certain people bringing in suits, like this is probably literally what they got.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I want to deal with it, but it's understood.
But yeah, Emblem. What are your thoughts on it?
Oof.
Emblem.
And what happened?
Oh, he's muted.
My bad. Train passed by. I forgot I had muted up. But I think in regards to my thoughts, the legs, it doesn't have leg buffer. I don't think either of them do. I'd have to double check the
That's true. Yeah, just the
blue.
shoulder.
But which one is this? But I know for a fact that the red version doesn't have leg armor for whatever reason, or the leg damage buffer.
Mhm.
Yeah, it doesn't like the blue does either. So I would definitely recommend anybody playing the suits to go ahead and make sure you get some leg parts on there. Um, and for the raid, I'm probably gonna switch. I was talking with Salty, and we kind of figured out a little something to try out. Essentially, just leg armor um, boost, and just kind of show up the rest of the slots with extras. I'm gonna try that. But I kept having the situations, and it's kind of like a problem with combo suits where you like are trying to switch between your parts of your combo, and you run out of boost because you're constantly disengaging and swapping and stuff like that. Um, so I'll try that later. But yeah, I think it covers mid to close range pretty well. Like I said with the cannons, you can set up for a little bit of a support like follow up with a stagger into a cannon volley on the support. Since they don't have like quick movement or dodge roll, like if you hit them with the beam gun and stun them, you're probably gonna hit them with the entire clip of, or the entire heat gauge on your cannons. And just like the what's it called, the Zagok and suits like that, all you have to do is just hold the shoot button down, and your dude will just empty that thing. So you don't have to like tap it or do whatever. Both cannons work that way. Um, and the combos themselves are good. If you're in a real fight, I wouldn't say get fancy. Um, just stun, downswing, downswing, downswing. You should be able to do all three. If you're using like the lance or something. And I think outside of that, like it seems pretty good. I think the general's move set is a bit strong in regards to like countering the suit itself. Like if we're talking about a vacuum where like one is versus the other, I think the general has the advantage in that fight. Besides the fact that it has an advantageous like, matchup in regards to
Typing, yeah.
blue versus red. Like I almost wonder if they had the blue suit set up to counter that thing. Like the cannon shut down its maneuver armor. Um if the raid catches it, like this blue suit has double dodge roll to get out of the first stun, and then you can't follow up with your own cannons on the raid to get it or whatever. So it's kind of weird. Um, it's gonna have a bad fight against the Dryson because it has maneuver armor. And again, its cannons can't break it. So it's interesting. Like we said, the Jarja and stuff like the Jarja and the Bawu are probably the better picks.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I don't think this is like a terrible suit by any means. It's just kind of outshadowed by its peers, kind of like the Zaku 3.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Zaku
speaking
3 would actually have a pretty easy time with this too, just because it doesn't have those leg buffers either.
Has a lot of build up too.
Mhm.
and also speaking
Like
of
that,
Zaku
that
3,
cannon would fuck this thing up.
oh yeah, it would. Have we seen much of the Zaku 3 though this like closer to this week?
I mean, I've been trying to run it. I've seen a couple people in it, but like not as much as you would think.
Yeah, I was kind of
It just be
surprised.
playing the comments, but I haven't seen it. Well, it's just because it gets overshadowed by better suits, though, right?
Yeah,
I mean, I
simpler suits too.
figured we'd at least see one or two every now and then though. But I like I don't think I've which I mean I guess I've been playing a lot more Valheim and just doing my dailies, so I haven't been playing 20 or 30 games. But
Mm.
like even when I went on my offline streak to get my rating back up, like still didn't see hardly any then. But um oh, also just on a side note, I guess real quick.
Mhm.
Saturday I went ham and played online and went up 200 points, well 222.
Nice.
So
Durr.
yeah,
What suit
input
were you playing?
input lag is a pain. I was playing MLRS at 550 and then 2 hours of the Isaac.
Mm.
So Isaac OP. I think I only lost one of those games. So, and that was just because the enemy team had an Isaac as well.
Gotcha.
Mm.
Just to be clear, I wasn't chuckling at the Isaac. I've got a couple of boars in my main base, and they're not like exclamation pointy anymore, but they're just like running around eating a berry every now and then. And if they pass by any of my buildings, they fucking headbutt it. Like, without
Yes.
fail, it's assert dominance. But sorry,
Like, who
keep
takes
going.
to the berries? But fuck this roof. Get
Yeah, that's a nice wheelbarrow, son.
Baka.
See, I think they changed how everything reacts toward your structures with this last patch.
Yeah, I think they just wanted it to be more like your buildings are at stake or whatever.
Yeah, which I'm cool with. Let's go. Let's have a troll try to take on the base. I kind of want to see.
Just waltz in and smash. Oh man. So I took down a troll the other day, and wood structures, one shot. Stone structures, it actually stood. You know how they had those towers and stuff, so not bad.
I should put a clip where the mining clip, the mining troll.
Oh my god, yeah. Fucking Gary.
That was funny. But yeah. Anyway.
Also Gundam.
Yeah.
Real quick, kind of interesting note here. We were talking about the weapon on the Twin Lancer. I'm not 100% on it because some of the data is not complete, but heavy attack, like they make a special mention of heavy attack on the Lance for the Gaz L. But in the description for Twin Lancer, they don't mention heavy attack at all.
Okay.
So keep it that it's not there. Oh, also the names are Heat Lancer, Gaz L Heat Lance, and the blue one for the Gaz R is Heat Lance Neo Zeon or New Zealand.
Interesting. Wonder if we're gonna get some other suits then with that kind of name that'll have that as a weapon.
Kind of
That'd be
makes me
neat.
think that might be the case. Yeah.
Yeah.
Web.
Okay, so what stats do we got for the R now? Because I'm really curious because especially in the stats, I mean we've already kind of talked about the skills mainly it has I mean the big difference for the skills is it has what is it? Well, double
Invasion
dodge
2.
roll. And then
I don't believe it has maneuver armor.
yeah, and it
Yeah,
also
that's-
has force injector 1, which is annoying.
Yeah.
So
Not gonna be scooting as much, but considering the cannons, maybe it doesn't have to.
yeah.
The blue version does have like shock absorber level 3, which the raid does not have.
But what do we have for stats on it?
Yep. So this will be level 1 and 2 respectively. Costs are 500, 550. HP is 16,500, 1,800, or sorry, 18,000 rather at level 2. Ammo defense or bullet defense is 22 and 24. Beam resist is 22, 24. Melee modifier or melee damage modifier or the melee defense, whatever, is 10 and 12. Beam damage modifier is, or shooting modifier rather, is 30 and 33. Melee modifier is 20 and 22. Movement speed is 135. That's the same as the other suit. Boost speed is 210. That's 10 less than the raid. Thruster gauge is 65. And that's the same for the other suit. Turning speed is the same for both on the ground, 72. Both also go up to 78 in space. I don't know if we mentioned, but they both have space specialization as well.
Oh yeah.
The melee modifier or the priority is 2. on the general. Slot wise, the top slots are 10 and 11, medium is 15 and 17, and bottom slots are 11 and 12.
So, and we already, what was the stagger value, I guess, on the cannons?
35 per shot.
Okay. Is that times
So
2, or is that just straight?
Yep, times 2.
Oh, okay.
So each beam is 35. So
Wow.
one blast with both is 70. So you're pretty much you have a good fight against pretty much all forms of damage control because you can get
Yeah.
4 shots off before you overheat. So it's 8. I'm pretty sure you could stagger a Gog or a Bolin Oak or whatever.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's good. My only issue is it's melee priority 2.
What?
I mean, like, as far as well, you know, the Gallus J came out and it had some pretty good stats to it, but it has melee priority 2, and that kind of is still really solid, but it's, you know, the beta and the Mark II still kind of reign supreme there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So that's kind of my only concern. Like the melee priority 2 kind of feels a bit oof.
We talked about it before in terms of them just not wanting to like cross that line too often, though. So like it's not
Yeah.
crazy, but yeah, it is still rough.
And that's kind of my concern, especially at 500.
Right. Is that at the end of the day, much like the other suits we were talking about, like Mark II is always just going to be an answer for that still.
But I will say though, it has some good health and ballistic and beam resist, but the melee resist is actually kind of meh. That was interesting. I was expecting the melee resist to be pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty much the main competition I would say that it's gonna have is the Mark II and the.
That's all.
There we go.
Evelyn sounds like he is the drive-through guy.
What do you want? Welcome to
the
welcome
audio
to
quality
Magnum,
dropped. Lol. Yeah, it did.
welcome to Magnum King. What can I get for you?
We don't have
Welcome
subscriptions
to
on this
Emblem
one.
Burger, home of the Emblem Burger.
Take your order.
Give me a number 2 combo, please. Would you like to intensify that combo today?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, yes, it's got to be a thing now.
Give me the home burger with intensified sauce.
Yes.
How much sauce would you like? Intensify it. Yes, sir.
Give me the Valheim special.
Yes.
Would you like a tree to spawn in your house, or would you like me to just swing a hammer in it?
Ideally, I'd like you to just skewer a boar in front of me.
Fantastic.
Oh my God.
Very intensify.
Extra heavy swing. As it is, you're gonna have to do some editing magic here. So
yeah, I know.
Sure.
with that later.
Oh my gosh, I just realized the Zaku 3 is still up. I know I realized this earlier, but
Oh no.
I never changed the overlay either.
Here at Downtime
Oh,
in the Hangar,
yeah.
we pride ourselves on our professional values.
I think we did a pretty good job. Very professional. You know how fast we got this Zoom call up?
Amazing.
Yeah, we're good at this.
Okay, so what were we talking about?
Yeah, so if
general.
we're good, I looks like everything's working on my end. So I will say though, that art picture looks pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
But anyway, let me go ahead and
Game I'll quit.
Next topic.
yes. Well, same topic, but but yes. So let's see. The R, yes. So final thoughts on the R essentially was where we were at, because I mean we pretty much kind of talked and compared it already, but what do you think? Do you think I think I was saying what I was my thoughts were when the whole thing died, because I ended up looking and I was like, wait, what? Oh, they're gone.
Nah,
No.
I was talking.
I was like, everyone's being awful quiet.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I was like, guys, help me out. I just asked a question, where you at? And I'm like, oh no.
well,
Then I
Gustav was
tap
you,
back
like
over.
just disappeared, and Gustav had like a serious vibing, like frozen look on his face. He was just like something along those lines.
Oh my gosh. I was
like,
like
Gustav, you
tabbed
okay, buddy?
over.
I was like
tabbed
mid-match and I
over.
was like trying to get shit done. I was like, oh no.
But anyway, so yeah, my final thoughts pretty much, I think it's probably
Okay,
up
that's
there in 500, 550, maybe not so much. And I kind of think it, because I still think the Mark II is going to be one of the top 2 to 5 suits in 500. And the beta is one of the big comparisons that everybody's making comparisons to already.
Yeep.
And
Put your hand down.
apparently, my sugar went up after that whole debacle.
Oh no.
So, yeah. Apparently I'm stressed a little bit, guys. So cool. But anyway, yeah. Beta though has better melee. The melee resist kind of got me on the general one too. So I mean, yes, it's not priority 2, but it doesn't have like a lot of ranged options, and it really looks like it wants you to get in there and do stuff. So I'm kind of confused with that.
We want to play it mid to close. Like the kit even backs it up too.
Yeah, so I kind of was expecting a little bit more melee res. I guess you could throw parts on it, of course, to help that, but I'm
Right,
guessing
in
it
lieu
might
of
have the
other
same
things, I guess.
leg problem. Does it have the same leg problem? Has
It should. It doesn't have buffer
Yeah.
either, but I haven't played it.
So-
But I would assume.
You would want to do that. I mean, you're gonna have too many utility parts, I think, to kind of compete, because what's the beam saber's damage is only 2,000, and the lance is like what, 2,600 or something. I just feel like it doesn't have the melee damage, and it doesn't have the utility just to knock things down, because then you get to 550 and then you have the Dryson, and you have the GBO2, and you still have the Mark II. But like that's kind of my issue, is that I feel like it's going to be somewhere maybe a bit above the Zaku 3, but definitely somewhere around that. But I mean, it's still solid. Like, can't go wrong with playing it probably. But I think it has a few too many shortcomings compared to more of the meta suits.
Mhm.
But yep, so that's my thoughts. What do you guys think?
I mean, it feels like it has at least a little bit more utility than some of the other stuff, but once again, like we were saying before, it's a gacha game. Gotta work with what you got, and this isn't the worst thing ever that you could have come up in your rolls. So I can see it getting some play. I don't know if it's gonna go the way of the Zaku 3, at least as it is right now, but I think it'll be able to hang in there. And the L will definitely have the novelty of that heavy swing to keep people trying to make it happen. Because novelty in this game tends to turn into big damage. And that's always pretty tempting.
So, you guys know how to turn people up in this?
Up. That should be coming through.
I mean,
I
you guys are fine, but I was still gonna
see what
bring you guys up a little
what
bit.
Asian was saying in terms of the audio for Emblem. I'm not sure what happened.
It probably picked up my webcam or something. If I had to guess.
That's probably what it is. Yeah, there's an options window. Like if you go to the up arrow.
Yeah,
Well,
normally it has a
yeah, no, I
test.
found it. It's saying it's on my headset, but this thing has a microphone. What the fuck?
Really? What? There you go.
Oh my gosh, there you go.
Yeah, that's the good shit.
Also, talk now, and I think you guys are coming through just fine. I was gonna It's gonna tweak.
He cut out for a sec, but I'm not sure.
Yep.
What was that?
There you go.
There we go. Yeah, that
Much
sounds
better.
much better. I wish I could
Yeah, I
turn
guess
both of you up a little bit, but oh well.
I guess my headset has a microphone as well.
That's wild. And you just, it's not even like visible on it.
It's probably somewhere on this thing. I don't know.
It's got a mic dongle on the bottom or some shit like that.
Yeah, there we go.
It's a
That's
mystery.
great. That's fantastic. Okay. So any other thoughts on the or Gustav?
Oh.
Or wait. No, you everybody said their thoughts on the
Yeah, we did.
I got distracted with the volume thing now. I'm like, yeah, so any other thoughts then? If not, move on to the patch notes and talk about what was in there.
Fortunately or unfortunately, not a whole lot.
But anyway, let's see here. Oh. There we go. Okay. So we got a half off banner for this. So yeah, I mean, I always say the half off is worth it. So
Oh yeah.
at least do that step, and then usual spiel about the other stuff. You got the tokens, and you're really wanting to go for something. I guess the second one wouldn't be too bad since these are both 2 stars. I guess that's another thing to point out. Which point the game baited me with so many 2 stars, and it was so annoying.
I'm actually really amazed that I got the L at all just because of that. But definitely glad.
I always end up taking the L's.
Oh. I will say that the first the discounted spin was pretty awful. I ended up getting it on the second one.
I got on the first spin for my Western account, thankfully. So that was pretty cool.
Hey.
Although I wish I had gotten it on my JP account too, especially since I had a double
Yeah,
Game
same
Saver.
here. I got it
Yeah.
on Ginny. I was like, fuck, dude, come on.
It's so troll.
Yeah, I didn't get it, but I got a Mark II Cubaloo. Let's go.
Kubaloo.
Magnum
I'm-
2, Mark II, Kubaloo.
I've been, oh my gosh, yes, I needed that suit. I finally have my 650 raid.
He was definitely feeling it in customs the other day.
Oh my gosh, and today too, like I like it. I mean, Cubaloo is just good, and then just that now, yeah, I kind of like the maneuver armor. Like it's pretty nice. I think I would trade damage control for maneuver armor sometimes. But yeah, other than that though, we have the Neozium 1 for the 10 spin if you do that. And the Zusa level 3 has been added. That is pretty hype. Like I'm kind of surprised it happened so soon. But,
it does feel kind of fast. Mm-hmm.
But I'll take it. I definitely want any form of the Zusa, and having another chance at getting it. Yes, please. So next, ticket shop stuff. Now this is kind of interesting. So I guess we'll talk about the Dwaj and Gogu ground type first, real quick. What do we think about those? Level 3s were put in, so that I think that puts them at 500 at level 3.
Mm.
I think the Gelgu ground falls off almost at its base cost. But it's, like,
I mean, power creep is real, so I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
personally think the Jaeger is
I know.
needed now, so I feel you.
I mean, ideally, just go for the Zissa level 3.
yeah, there we go.
Like, don't even just save the tickets. Just go for the Zissa.
Yeah, wait for it.
Striker custom, however,
Yeah,
strong showing there.
Yeah, that's not a bad one to get.
yeah, that one level 1 and 2 got put in. So if you don't have a Jarja or something more meta, the Striker level 2 at 500 was definitely the meta raid when it first came out, and
Mm-hmm.
had me crying and raging that it even existed.
No.
And that it should have been nerfed into the ground. And
Nope.
luckily, power creep came in, which I don't know if that's a good or bad thing.
I mean, it's kind of good, except that the ones that are still playing it are like Ultra Sweat. And as it becomes more available, you're probably going to see it more anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, especially
get ready for
now.
that.
The other thing too with it, if you are major, it now costs 163,900 DP rather than 400,000.
Hmm.
So that's kind of weird that they would just do that now. I want my DP back.
I want my money back.
Like I had to buy like all the I had to buy all of the 400,000 suits. I'm just like, why? But oh wait, I actually think I got the detector. I might not have had to buy the detector. I think I got one out of a recon crate. I can't remember which one it was. But I know I bought this first because I didn't have it. So yeah, Striker can definitely recommend level 1. Level 2 there is probably better things, but I mean it's still great. Like it still was the most broken thing we had seen for a long time for raids.
Yeah, like its versatility hasn't gone away. Kind of hard to cycle sometimes, but if you're definitely about those striker like suits, gonna be up your alley. And if it is, you've probably just been waiting for another shot to get it. I feel like that's kind of the same with the Dodge. It's like, ooh, I just get to have another level of this, because Dodge enthusiasts haven't gone away, especially with the custom being around.
Yeah, now the Dowage is still pretty solid. Like you can't really beat just having a
The
scoop. Yeah.
The scoopy.
So yeah, if you like the Dodge and you've been playing it, you probably could get this. But Striker,
I
would
guess
say, is definitely
anyone who's not initiated with that, understand that it's satisfying but a little rough. So you get that approach just right. But it becomes second nature after a while. You see people do it like it's nothing.
Yeah, I went back and played after they buffed the Dodge custom. And like I was like, okay, time to scoop, and I was like, oh no, it's sideways, or just I didn't go anywhere.
Oh, like
or
yeah,
I missed.
I scooped in place.
I hit my teammate. So yeah, there was a lot of bad going back to that, but I will say, Dodge custom feels really good now.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah, and the damage is kind of insane. I like just shooting with the main beam and just doing a stagger for like essentially a beam rifle. Like it does.
And then just sacrificing the
damage.
heat for the heavy, like
Yeah, like if you want to do the heavy, that way you get an easy combo on that raid that's sitting there in front of you. But just like sit down. Okay, now lay down. Now scoop to whoop.
GBO2 is getting a little potato with the I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get into another match here.
Okay.
I wonder if some nodes are having some issues in certain places. That's kind of awkward. But yeah, yeah, overall, Striker's cool. Can recommend. But yeah, any other thoughts on the ticket shop?
Striker for sure. Dodge if you're already an enthusiast. Ground type is kind of struggle bus. Kind of wish it was better. I'll be honest. One day it'll have its moment, but it ain't yet.
Yeah, I'm sad it's not as good as what it could be, and then also the Jaeger too. Oh man, I'm just so sad. It used to be top tier, like hit all your shots, do all the
Yeah,
damage.
I mean the Jaeger used to be in the same spot as the MLRS, so I'm sure some people see it as its own comeuppance.
Yeah, but I mean,
No mercy or respect, never.
I feel like I want to play the 451 though and get back into using it.
Like as much as I wish they would up the burst rate to match the command, I feel like it's still doable even if you're not charging, because it also has that the arm spotters to mess with.
Oh yeah, I mean his DPS is still up there. It's just it's lost to utility more than anything these days. That's its main problem.
Like it just doesn't have the same aggression sometimes.
And like shields and other things that have come out on some recent suits. Or, you know, I can stagger you 5 million times with the detector.
Oh
and,
god,
and just
detector.
laugh.
Detector duel is always going to be scary when you're in a Jaeger.
Yeah. So. But anyway, the DP store got an addition, which is fantastic, and I think it's the best level of the suit. But the Hildoffer level 2 in the game for DP store stuff and things.
Deja tank has arrived.
I don't know what, you know, ranking you have to be to buy it in the first place, but yeah, it's there and it's good.
That's a good buff for the new raid. What's the cost for level 2? It's 500, right?
450.
Oh, is it 450 level 2? Okay. That's good for the GM 3 CC then.
Has more food.
Yeah, I mean, every healed offer I've run into when I play that suit is like free. It's free. What's a tax commercial?
It's free real
H&R
estate.
block. Free. Like, it pulls machine guns out, and I don't hear DOCA noises. All I hear is free. It's like roll up and murder it. It's great.
Oh my god.
Okay, that's kind of funny.
You can't get booped out of your heavy swing. Get dead.
You know. I went back and forth on the machine guns. I'm back on the. I don't really care for the machine guns too much. I use them to finish people off, and that's it now.
Yeah.
But like, man, like now that I've been getting in there and getting some of those cool combos off, like I need to make a montage reel of some of the kills I've gotten with that thing.
I just want them to be at the rate of the MPs.
Yes, please.
Right? Like that should just be what it's at. Why would it be slower?
Nope. Sorry.
Well, also, why wouldn't it just be at the rate of the normal gun itself and you're firing 2 of them?
The funny thing is like they're modified Zaku 1s, aren't they? Like,
wait, are
those
they?
would actually be pretty fast, at least the way that the mag is.
Oh my gosh, yeah, they might be. Yeah.
They're modded, so they should be faster any goddamn way.
Well, and not just that though. Like, look at all the other like the
I have to double check because it's
Psycho
probably 2s
Zaku.
and it's just modded 2s as opposed to 1s, and someone's gonna be like, well, actually, but you know.
Yeah.
For real.
But like the Psycho Zaku, they actually made it fire alternating.
Yeah.
Rather than just
And that's the same rate too.
Yeah, so
there's a precedence for it for sure.
So hopefully one day. But I mean right now it's you know, it's okay, but anyway, the yeah, the shovel. There we go. That's what I was going to say. The shovel is pretty much the thing that changed my comboing now on it so much. So like I'll drift in, hit somebody with the cannon just to get a normal stagger, transform out of it, and then swap, and then you can just pretty much swing. Almost like you had a balancer. I don't know if this thing does or not, but like sometimes that transforming and doing things gets a little weird, and it feels weird. But once you start getting muscle memory for it, it
Mhm.
feels pretty good, and you're just like boom, and then you bump into them, you transform, and then you're just like backhand shovel, haha. And also, if you hit them with the shovel at all, other than obviously downswing, you knee stagger them,
Ooh,
and
it's
then you can
heavy
just
stagger.
then you can just back up, shoot them with a cannon shot, and then transform and bump them and start the whole process over again.
So that's something I didn't know actually, and that's interesting.
Yeah, the knee stagger is what kind of changed how I play that suit
So the
entirely.
bigger thing that I've
It's
seen
really
for
strong.
that suit is people using a transformation to actually dodge melee or certain
Yes.
shots because it changes its height. And
Yeah,
people are actually able to like physically just move away from things with that.
who would think a tank
It literally
would
just
be
turtles
better
and
than
ducks
a
its head and,
robot?
like, whoop.
Why, Gundam?
Nobody
Why
can
are
do
you
that.
breaking your lore with or why are
I
you
mean,
breaking
it's
your
just in
world?
game, right? Because like in the show, it got body rocked, but you know,
I don't know, man.
I mean, he
I
did
still,
pretty good
you
work.
know, if they didn't have anime like space metal, you know, I'm pretty sure AP shells would make mobile suits cry.
Mhm.
Could you imagine?
I mean, just typical ordnance, even from planes, should be doing a lot more. Like the fact that fighters struggle against mobile suits is funny and stupid.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, DOPS and stuff like that were still getting used in OG Gundam. So I mean, tanks just kind of got dunked on really hard by Amuro, right? And the rest of the crew, but I'm sure they were still relevant enough.
The
Probably still
Magellas are
Death Trap.
hilarious, though. I still want the Magellas
Yeah.
to split in half. I want that to be a thing.
Oh yeah. I've been watching some Gear and Greed. A friend of mine has been playing that, and it's funny just seeing like a bunch of DOPs and stuff actually taking on things and doing some work. Is pretty cool. But yeah, it's just always funny. Like when you see the tank, it's like, you know, lower to the ground, kind of. You know, it's more effective. Whoops. But
Lower to the ground with like the same kind of like caliber and explosiveness as your typical like mobile suit weapon.
But yeah. Anyway,
Literally just holding a tank in its hand for the MG.
well, here's a random question, and after I just saw it in chat, I have to ask this, guys. Do you know if a fist can clash with a beam saber in melee? Have we ever seen like two people try to punch each other and have a clash?
I've bounced off a fist before,
Yeah, I think it can only bounce.
Yeah.
but I'm not sure.
That'd be cool if they could actually lock and do like a power struggle. Oh my god. I'd be down for that. We need more melee tech here.
I would imagine like there's something like that. Like, So, I mean, you can clash or whatever with non-beam weapons. So I would imagine the priorities right and get the timing good. We should be fine.
We just need
but I don't know.
Zaku.
Exactly. I concur.
I bounced with the detector as a full custom. Interesting. So yeah, no clashies, just bounces seems. God, the javelin on the Aos is gross.
But yeah,
It's
Hilldopper,
also
really
old,
cool.
though.
Then we have well, that's pretty much the end because we haven't heard any update on the
That's all
clan
there is.
ranked.
There ain't no more. Yeah, what the
What's
fuck,
clan
by the
rank?
way?
Yeah,
What's a
so
clan match?
No clan matches. It's week 2. The fuck?
Does clan match taste good? What is that?
It tastes very salty.
Ah, yes. Oh, I remember now.
Oh, well played.
Ranked battle, right? Is that what we're talking about?
The victory is so sweet, isn't it? My goodness. Yeah, it's a little rough. Hopefully, it doesn't go the way of ranked. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh!
We'll get
Speaking
back-
of that,
We'll
actually,
get
there
back to
we
you on
go.
that. It never
we go.
came back.
There's a topic.
They were never heard from again.
Oh yeah, you were
Let's
gonna
go
talk
ahead.
about it, right?
Let's
What
go ahead
about
and bring that up.
ranked?
Where
But my salt,
Where's
my
ranked?
solo assault, my solo assault in this team game. Maybe that's why they got rid of it, right?
So I mean, for anybody that didn't experience what ranked was, if you've noticed, there is a extra thing next to the clan stuff in the event section when you go to the sortie counter, and yeah, they had essentially an event where you went into matches and you try to place top on your individual leaderboard, and depending on what bracket you were put in for your rating, you get some decent little prizes for DP and stuff and tickets.
Including, wasn't there also suits too?
And yeah, that's where the Recon Zaku was. That's where the what was the other ones?
Tropical, I think, or was that a limited? I think that was a
No,
limited,
limited.
actually.
Yeah, it was limited. What was the next one? There was the Recon, and then darn it,
Wasn't the Shin? God, there was another one though. I
And
keep
then I
getting a
missed the
mix up with
first- I missed the
I
first
keep
one.
mixing them up with the limited stuff.
was there a suit on the first ranked? Was it the Fritz?
Yeah, Fritz. You're right.
Okay, then what was the one? Because there was that. Then my first one was the Recon one.
Oh,
That was
GM
350.
GM2 is a Berserk saying.
Oh yeah, that's right. And then you just had to get the gun. Yeah, so
Yeah.
there's GM2. Yeah, so the GM2 and that one was pretty good. That's a pretty good suit. Recon Zaku has gotten better recently because of the
Mhm.
long barrel buffs, but
Also, just the nature of like spotting now.
yeah, so it was
You
really.
still don't really see it though.
I see it in
I
low
see
cost a lot just
200
because
and 250.
when the ad came out, it was pretty much free candy for the Recon.
Yeah, I see it a lot when I'm playing the egg.
I feel you there. I definitely don't play the lower cost as much, so I'm gonna see it. Oh,
Trade.
Right. But yeah, the so pretty much, you get the suit. It was a soft fest. They kept trying to reiterate, or yeah, on like, wait, no, wrong word maybe. Oh well, they kept redoing it. There we go.
Like revising it essentially.
Yeah. So yeah, it was. Well, the first one was a grind fest. Like that was his big problem. Like if you played forever, you won. The second version is essentially
what we use for clan battles now.
only went on for a long time.
Which I like.
Right?
Yeah. As opposed to 2 hours.
Yeah.
At a random point in time on a day.
But the thing is, you had to, whatever your final score for that day was your score, and then the next day got added onto that, and then by the end of it, whatever your total score was where you placed. So you had to play it each day, and the thing is, though, people complained because there would be people who would play, for like 20 hours and get their best games, and then they would be at the top of the leaderboards because they played, 100 games and finally got 3 amazing games.
Oh yeah.
Then they decided to change it one more time.
One more game.
Because people complained that they were still playing too much.
They're catering to needs.
And
well, no, if anything, they were trying to go against the needs because those guys had the time. Everyone else.
Well,
didn't.
no. I'm saying like people were saying that the original way was catering to the needs.
Okay, yeah.
Very politely on Twitter, of course.
Of course.
But then they went ahead and decided to change it so that you had 10 games, and whatever your score was at the end of those 10 games is what you got. Have fun. And apparently that still felt bad, and they haven't figured out anything, I guess, because we haven't seen it since.
You're like, you know what, then I got nothing. Let me get back to you on that. And then clan battles just came into prominence. It's like, well, this is probably what ranked should have been anyway in a team-based game. And I think that just kind of stuck.
Yeah, so will we ever see a ranked event of some sort again? Who knows?
Nope.
Hopefully, because I actually did like being able to just go in there on my own to do stuff.
Yeah, that's... I mean, I guess too, the other thing is, what do you think they could do to change it?
I don't know, because the concept itself is also stupid.
Make it to where you don't lose rated points when you play the garbage.
Yeah, that too. Because I mean, it's just amplified Try Hard Tuesday, right? Like it's already bad. It's already bad when you have to deal with that. It only gets worse when you're having to have like ranking in a free suit on the line.
But I know when we were originally talking about it, I was and I'm honestly still not sure. I kind of put it off, but you know, they need to do something that doesn't make it feel like the matches are a 1v9.
Yeah,
and
then
that's
that's
like
what
my
I
biggest
was.
problem with it.
That's what I was gonna say about like the concept being stupid, is that you're also versus your own team. It just doesn't work in a team-based setting.
Yeah, and I guess to explain real quick, you know how at the end of clan ranked you get a score based on, you know, whether you win or lose, and how much total score your team had. Well, then there was, instead of like your total ranking score that you get, there was a how well did you place from 1st to 12th. And unless you're placing 1st to, I think they expanded it to 3rd, right? Or is it 1st to 4th? There we go.
Who knows? Something like that, probably.
So, but like, yeah, I know they expanded it from the first time I played in a ranked in it, and yeah, I pretty much was, you know, shooting my teammates in the back and then stealing the kill in front of them, or you know, knocking somebody over so they couldn't get the kill that was in front of me so that I could get the kill.
Good old toxic Magnum in his element.
I mean, if you want to get top in your bracket, you gotta win, and then you gotta also double win.
I was doing it too. You gotta literally stop your teammates from confirming kills by stunning them, and also get him yourself. Like, it was rough. Gun cannon was my go-to there.
Oh yeah, a bunch of supports just smacking the rest of the team. Like, let's go.
And then the other problem with that too is then you want pursuit assist score too, so you can get up there even higher. Because again, the last one they did is when they changed how the rival system works, and that's how they, you know, essentially would place you from 1st to 12th. And since they decided to change that, well, the pursuit assist is pretty heavy in that. And to guarantee pursuit assist, you let the enemy knock your teammate over, and when they're going to hit them again, you then stagger them.
You then help them.
Yeah. After the downswing is hit, then you stagger them, which also will gain you pursuit assist score. And that is a huge problem, because now instead of saving your teammate before, you want to save them after they're in trouble.
Yep. And that actually carried over to the way people tend to do stuff in normal matches. You see it a lot.
Yeah, I hate the pursuit assist score.
It's just, man, that was such a big change when it came to, because you could just it sways the ranking so much. I feel like it shouldn't, and I get the idea, right? Because it's supposed to be more of a team-based mechanic, but that's not what it's used for.
Well, and then I mean, just in that mechanic alone, too. Like, I mean, used to I would kind of gamify rating, and a lot of times I would go up because I would just treat it like ranked. So, you know, if I got first place, then I'm probably gonna go up when I win a lot, and then if I get close to first place when I lose, then I would not go down as much. So back then, before this new system, I would have a lot of, like plus 17 games and -4. Whereas now, I will say, the system's a bit better at keeping it closer to plus or minus like 3 to 5 kind of thing. So not too bad, but yeah. It gets a little weird when you also do insanely well and you're like 4th place or something. It's like, wait, what? How? But
It's interesting because it between ranked and the way they do pursuit assist now, support suits are probably the most self-serving class in the game. Because it's all about that shit, and that's what people were using it for ever since then.
pretty much. That's the only thing the snipers can cling to. but other than that, I mean, what do you think they do? Yeah, do you guys have any ideas on what they could do? Because I haven't got much on that.
Nah, just keep it closed. It was cool. I didn't mind it, but as a concept, it's just dumb.
Mute again, Emblem?
Trains. I don't have too much to
Trains.
add to it, mainly just because like I wasn't prepared for this topic, but like Gustav said, they probably just need to keep it closed for now. They'll figure it out eventually. Probably.
We can definitely bring this up again later but like, yeah, I was like, as soon as it was mentioned, I was like, oh my gosh. If we were just talking about this earlier or the other day. But yeah. Clan rank, though, feels pretty good.
Yeah, I think clan rank was just their answer to all that. It just made
It
more
was fun while it
sense.
lasted.
Yeah, right. Clan rank's dead.
Yeah,
Oh no.
never coming back.
But I mean, yeah, that's kind of the thing is like ranked mode normally in most games is literally just what rated is. So, and that's sweaty enough.
Yeah, it's already there in that case.
Yeah, like what I wish. Here we go. Here's what I think ranked should be. Here's my fix. You ready for this? And I think I said this the last time we were trying to come up with this stuff. They should just make it over a longer period of time.
Mm.
That way, people that are going super ham, it doesn't matter. And it still should be a ladder-based system. And it should be out of the entire player base. That is just a little group. Or if they want to do the little groups for some reason, they can. Sure, why not? But they essentially... and if they are going to group you, then they group you based on your rated rank. But they essentially make a rated ladder that is seasonal kind of thing.
Mm.
And you play for that 3 months or whatever. And you try to get up to S-. And that way, your skill is what puts you up there to that higher rank because you can climb. You're winning and you're doing good. That promotes winning the game. and trying to, get rating up. And, maybe even more so, they just get rid of the rival system for this ranked event so that people aren't trying to also gamify it, add that extra sweat in there. But
So just raw stat as opposed to
yeah, like a normal elo system.
Are there any other systems like that that tend to throw in rival stuff, or is that just something that's more unique to this?
I mean, there's a lot of games that have talked about trying to do something like that, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, that's a bad idea." So
Yeah, I feel like most games kind
Eh.
of do it differently in the form of like, they still have to merit or your contribution and stuff like that to keep track of your stats, but it's not directly compared to like another player. Because like I know at the end of the game, League will take track. I don't know if it like affects your out of in-game
There it
score,
is.
but
no, it doesn't.
I think League like keeps track of your stats and it'll tell you like how you did compared to other people. I don't know. I kind of wish the rival system was kind of just gone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't really
like
it
it's
very
interesting
much.
that their
Or just better.
their answer to not telling you who your rival was to just make it some mystery thing. And not only that, but they tend to just the margins between rivals sometimes is just really crazy.
Well, and then like every time that it's Monday, like essentially when uh Ashi and I were trying to get ready to do Master Chief Collection, then we were just like, we just do Valheim. But anyway, um but yeah, when we were doing that, I was having issue with, getting my rival win there, just trying, because I don't know what it is, but man, we got some more troll games that happened a little bit. But yeah, anyway, I think we just had one dude who just went ham or something. I can't remember exactly what happened. But so to get my rival win, I was just like, okay, well, I'm definitely playing support this time, and yeah, I'm just gonna destroy their support into the ground, and we good. Because I think he was raid, or no, I think that last game he might have swapped to general. But point being though is we both were kind of doing the same job of keeping their support down. And instead of doing the good thing to get the win, I can't remember if we won or lost that last game. But essentially, I beat my rival either way. And it looked like either way, I think it was either we won the game and cool, or we lost the game. Or sorry, we won the game and it looked like we were going to lose earlier on, or we lost the game and there you go. But the point was is I just straight up focused on their support and stopped doing good things. Like I could have, taken out the two generals and whatever, but I made sure the support was dead, and then I turned to take out the generals and actually help my team. But I beat my rival. So that's all that matters for getting that extra token.
Oh man.
And yeah, that was kind of the yeah, it kind of sucks because it's like, instead of focusing on your rival, you kind of give up that token sometimes. And normally you do beat your rival when you win, but sometimes you don't, especially in close games. So I was just like, man, we've been having so many close games or whatever. Okay, time to just play support and just straight up destroy theirs. So yeah, I think them just getting rid of that, or even if they do want to keep it, fair enough, just make us have a ladder, because if shortening doesn't work, right? If shortening the amount you can play doesn't work, and having only a week or not 2 weeks where people can play, and people who can play too much can do better because they play too much, well then expand it so that even if they do play too much, there's enough time for somebody who can play casually amounts of time just actually compete if they're good enough.
I don't know though. Like maybe I'm missing something in the explanation. I just don't see how expanding the time frame fixes the problem of the hardcore players versus the more casual players. Are we still limiting the number of matches overall?
No,
No.
because like, I mean, it's just like a ladder and everything else.
Yeah, like with
Like- No,
this,
but
it
you're
would
talking-
just
you're
be
talking about the-
doing away with the match limit, essentially.
But is this in the context of the way it currently works, or is this in the context
No.
of your rotating rating system, like seasonal rating system or whatever?
Yeah, seasonal system.
Yeah, the seasonal thing.
Okay. I don't know. I personally don't like the idea of them introducing a rating system. Like on one hand, I can see I know it works for a lot of stuff and I can see the benefits, but I don't like. And maybe it's just that I just got to S minus, but I don't want to start over or go down or whatever.
No, I mean, it
Yeah.
would just be the
Well, I
idea
mean, it
of
would
how
be
it
the ranked
fluctuates from
mode.
there. But like, I feel like we've had this. This happens a lot just because you're already there.
Like, I would say like this would happen. You know, like they do it once a year kind of thing. Like maybe this time every year, right before anniversary happens or something, and then for like 3 months there's a ladder, or toward the end of the year, you know, some where they're not doing too many events or something. They'll just be like, boom, here you go, here's a ladder, play for 3 months, and wherever you end up, you get rewards based on wherever you end up, and you know, and then the people who end up in S minus get the top, and then A plus gets
Gotcha.
whatever, and they either do it per literal actual, you know, plus, normal, and minus, or they do it, you know, all S, all A, all B, all C kind of thing. And it would be for the people who want to push, and the, you know, and again, it would be kind of a thing where
I think it also give more incentive for people to actually like maintain or to continue to push for S minus in general, other than to just say that they did it. Since the reward, supposedly the reward amount that you get per match tapers off after like what, A minus or some shit like that.
oh, does it?
In terms of the bonus, I don't know if anyone can confirm that. That's something that Maniac had been talking about while he was doing his own push.
I've
really been paying attention, honestly.
Yeah, I haven't paid attention really. I'll try to. I'm close enough to possibly lose A plus during a stream, so I'll see what we can do.
I mean, for us especially, right? Like we've been at this for so long that like the extra DP, unless we go on like an upgrading spree, it's kind of irrelevant. So we just don't have a lot of shit to buy or that we want to buy.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hearing after A minus it stops from chat as well. So probably.
So having an extra little bit of stuff for the seasonal would probably just give more incentive. I kind of wonder how things would shift if that was the case.
That'd be
But yeah,
interesting.
I mean that's always been the thing with this game though, right? Is that it's just like if you just did shit like all these other games, you'd probably be in a better position in terms of how your format is. I don't know if they just think that they're being kind of cute with this shit, or if they just don't have the experience with other titles because it's just a smaller studio or what. But we'll see how much that changes if they ever do actually hit a GBO3.
I mean, I feel like they just kind of come up with like, hey, cool, we've reinvented the wheel kind of thing, and I mean,
Hashtag innovative.
yeah.
I mean, that's just me being snarky. I don't know if that's actually the case. You know, like, and again, this comes down to the fact that we probably shouldn't be the ones doing the podcast. They should.
But like, either way, though, the I mean, the system is as it is, and yeah, I think it could definitely just deal with outer rival system, and you know, if they wanted to do that, I'd say just make it like a season thing. You know, they open the season for a certain period of time and then close it. Because if they did it like a full year or something, then there would be like no reason to, because that's just what rated is normally. So, but yeah, I could see some kind of ladder with a reward. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be nice to mix it up a little bit. Incentivize things. I kind of wonder though, I mean, I guess you could just play both, but I could see them not wanting to do that too, because and maybe it's just the top end. So the thing I'm getting at is the fall off for S minus, because if they're playing a new game mode, it's pulling them away from that. And I could see that being like something that, like, again, I don't think it'd be a problem as I talk and think about it, but I could see that being a thing that would stop them from doing something like that too, just because they wouldn't want to pull their players away from their main pool, even though it is, like you're saying, something that maybe they only do like once for like a season or something like that. But that I could see that being a thing that would deter them from doing something like that. And maybe even in some cases, that's why we don't see ranked again right now too. It's not because they just haven't fixed the problem, but because now they don't want it to deter away from it. Although you still got points, so it's kind of like not the case, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's also the idea that like when that was around, I don't think we ever had a ranked when the international servers went up. And it would be interesting to reflect on like what their head count actually is as opposed to just their account number. Since we
Sure,
know that's just very dupe heavy or alt heavy. But I feel like in terms of the seasonal stuff or just the bracket in general, it would just count in for rated. So people would just be sweating in the same place, but with different things at stake.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I think they would have to. I think with the way that I imagine BB valuing the current rated environment, that if they brought back anything like that, it would also affect your rated score as well, probably.
From then on out, but I think like if they didn't go completely crazy, they would just leave you at where you're at.
I mean, I agree. I think a separate event shouldn't be included in that, but I'm more think that it would just be like if they did what Magnum said, it would still have the effect towards your in-game rating as well. If BB released it,
probably. No.
I mean, it would, and that would be the point because it's just a revisal of that system at that point.
Well, but isn't Magnum's point to move away from that and give you like another pseudo competitive thing that doesn't affect your rating? Like,
yeah, that was pretty much kind of the idea.
Mm.
So like,
people are always going to find a way just because of the power of the sweat, though, right? Like,
for sure,
it's going to be significant one way or the other.
I mean, the other thing I would say though too is like if you're talking about like the decay thing too, just you playing in that stops the decay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I mean, in general, that would just incentivize you to play more, I would assume. And like it would just be raw stats as opposed to just magical rival points for someone who you didn't know you're competing against. That's the only takeaway I took from most of that. It's just to get away with that take away that factor and just continue with most of the rest of that as normal, but just with a different like competitive structure.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I guess that kind of comes down to like what type of game battle operation is, because I heard pretty recently that for more mobile style games, because when you think of a game and you think of like what the developers want their players to do, you like I'm sure most of you imagine that the developers or the people that make the game want you to play it more, right?
Yeah.
They want you to play as many games as possible. I've heard recently that for like mobile phone developers that it's the opposite. They don't want you to play as long as possible. They just want you to
spin more,
get your dailies in, and then get off so you don't burn out quickly.
Yeah.
They want the plug-in. They want the what's the word? To be able to jump in and out or like plug and play.
Yeah.
They want that to still be a turn they can throw around.
Yeah.
Right. And they still want you to like get in, play quickly, get out, not lose your interest, and still be incentivized to spend that money on the banners and stuff.
Yeah.
So I kind of wonder at that point, like if that might just come down to like what does BB think their game is in that regard? Is it keep you in playing as many games as possible, or just do your dailies and get out? Right.
See, and normally I would say, well, it's a gacha game, right? So it should just be that, jump in and out.
Mhm.
But they obviously incentivize constant play just because of the drop rates of their crates. And not only that, but the medals that you get now increase how
Mhm.
many you can get. And also have incentives with the encourages that up those ratings. Whether or not those are really that effective or not is a different story. But
Right.
you're talking about getting at least 6 of these bitches a day, and sometimes even getting a couple can take upwards of 3 hours unless you're really doing some meta AB shit.
Oh my gosh, for
The
real
fact that
though.
there's a meta for the gotcha element because of the fact that you can get those for free is pretty insane, and is pretty indicative of what this game kind of wants you to do in and of itself.
Mhm.
I will say I can't stand when I get, the beginning of the month happens and it's like, okay, well, time to.
But it's also interesting because this game doesn't have ads or any incentive to keep you looking at it like that. So I don't know
Right.
where that comes from, right? Like, is that maybe why they got chose for that partner award or whatever? Like just playtime on top of player base?
Maybe.
Like I kind of wanted the stipulations for that, or if they actually got any awards for it. Like,
Oh, board loves me.
oh, board loves you, yes.
Ah.
I got to get my second board to love me so that they can love each other to make more board.
I just need my wolf pack to go destroy Emblem base.
Don't you mess with my boards.
Yeah, I would be like, hey, let's go wolf pack. I know where some food's at. Let's go.
Pack tactics.
Yeah, good shit, Medeki. We in there.
But anyway, but yeah, it'll be interesting if we see that come back in some form. But I just want to go ahead and talk about what the new suit's going to be. And I can easily tell you guys my 3 picks.
I mean, I only have one.
I'm gonna go. I'm
Yeah.
gonna go with. I'm gonna go with a support
And if
game
it doesn't, we fucking riot.
The next suit will also be a support game mock, and the last one will be a support game mock.
Did we mention Game Up?
For real.
Not the gay bold, Game Up.
With the Heralds of the Game Walk coming out,
It has to.
Oh
There's
my
no
gosh,
way.
there's no
Right.
way next week. And this
Ultimate
is general
debate.
raid. We've already had others before this.
Right? It's a
Boom,
double
support.
banner. It's got to be, right? Surely. I also find a very interesting side note that they showed the Gaz L with the twin saber in the art, as if you would use that since it can't do the heavy. Like, lol.
But yeah, any other new suit choices?
It's got to be 650 support. Let's go.
Oh my
Well,
gosh.
do you think I think just talking about what the Game Walk might bring to the table again would be good for
Funnels
this.
on funnels.
Yeah, so do we think they're gonna actually have a mother funnel doing who knows what?
I want to shoot a fucking beehive.
It needs to be a heavy attack. We need a heavy range, and this should be the first suit to do it. And it's going to be
I'd be okay if
Psychomune.
support's having something like that. That'd be interesting.
Either make it like an AoE or just a fucking frontal barf.
Yes,
Heavy
please.
attack on support gets to have access to the very rare
And
priority
the
tool.
more interesting thing would be for it to have like multiple locks
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yes, I agree.
for the
I
mother
agree.
funnels. And that would be the
Put the
heavy
fish in
attack.
like
And of
Ace
course, the
Combat or
trade-off would
something.
be, right, you're standing still while they're doing it.
Oh, dude, that would be hype.
Kind of like how the Mark II works in M-Bot. I think there's a certain move where it naturally boosts you in the air. You're standing there and you're just like barfing like funnels at people and just having them do their thing. So it could be something like that. Say you got to charge that bitch and just like commit. If it's not anything like that, then what the fuck are we doing with this suit?
if it's literally just like it's it's got some funnels. And
It's
some
kind of like
beams
it's like a support Cubalate. Why didn't you just give us the other MP then? Like the fuck?
yeah. If they just did like, oh, it's got a lock-on funnel and you shoot some beams. There you go.
There's like some cannons and maybe there's some hand beam moves. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, if that's it, then I'm just gonna like
I'm
cry.
gonna be a little upset.
They have to do something cool with that mother funnel. Like that sounds just that sounds amazing.
I mean, mother funnel it just has a meme and a joke. Like, come on.
But yeah, dude, that yes, I like everything I'm hearing. Let's go. Yes, because I'm like I don't know what they would do, and then the multi-lock thing. Oh my gosh, yes.
That I feel like that should have been a thing, and it just hasn't been, and they just don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a matter of them not wanting to go there because they've already touched on funnels in suit changes before. But we'll see.
I think that'd be a good touch. Like, because are there any supports that have funnels? And I don't mean like wire guided or in comms or anything like that.
I don't think
but like
do any of
legit
them
funnels?
even have incoms?
Like, I know the Hama Hama has the hands.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, you're
Bishop
right about that
has
one.
hands.
Oh, hand bits. Yeah, I mean, I guess those are
Yeah.
incomes. I didn't think about that. Bishops in particular are kind of interesting because they have only the one. And more
Mhm.
often than not, you're using the mains just because they have that shotgun-like effect and damage on top of the charge just slapping.
Yeah, the lock on with that suit is kind of a
It's actually just like more for like pressure when you're on the outside.
yeah.
But that's another thing to keep in mind. Even as a support suit, there's not a lot of reach on the bishop when it comes to those. Like, what are we going to be talking about for the max range in terms of what it's going to be able to do if it actually does come out for the game out being the support with funnels?
That would be insane.
Like, it had to have some pretty impressive range for that. And my fear is if they give it a lot of range, that they might make the lock on slow. Honestly, I feel like it should just be both. Both should just be like long range and quick. Because otherwise it's just going to struggle when things start to close in on it. Unless it has some really serious like instant stun or like bar firepower on its other weapons.
Yeah, I feel like they would probably be afraid.
There's a lot of ways to fuck up the game all is what I'm trying to say.
Yes. I mean, the lock-on thing taking time sounds exactly what they would do, and that kind of scares me because, like, you could do peak things with.
If it's gonna take time, then at
kind of
least
lock-on.
make the circle, at least make the lock-on ring big,
Please.
so that they're not like wiggling and just constantly breaking your lock.
Oh no, the O is like the ultimate counter to this thing.
Oh yeah, totally. And it doesn't even have to have the type advantage. It just needs to get in there with that priority and be like,
Oh my gosh. Well, and
That would
not
be
just
fun.
that, though.
and all the
Not just
flinch
that,
and
though,
all
you
that
get-
with the gun and stagger. Ugh.
You're like deleting the O, and then it like biosensor kicks in. And
Oh yeah,
you're
and
just
then
like,
it's the timer actually. We'll
Okay,
actually
well,
see. We'll
it'll take
actually see if
7
there's a
years for me to lock.
significant different now, right? Because we were talking about it before, and Emblem's been talking about how it seems like marginal or like non-existent.
Sorry about what?
About how the lock-on change for the it doesn't really seem to factor in too much.
Oh yeah, like there it's just more of a mild inconvenience.
Yeah, I you know what? When we talked about that, I don't think we ever brought it back up, but I was like, oh, the O has biosensors. That way it gets a double dodge. Nope.
Nope.
No,
it should
it
be.
has everything except for the extra dodge roll on this one.
It should just be more performance and like interesting shit, but like no. Oh, funnels might have a hard time.
I
when
mean, I
they're
think
not
that's
even that
cool,
common.
but like,
It should have just been an add-on into the list as opposed to just the big highlight.
honestly, the suit that I've felt the effect most is when I try to do a mix-up in space,
Mm.
and I took the Zeong out, and I'm like, oh,
If anything,
Yeah, these older
the double
suits.
Zeta, the double Zeta should retroactively get that lock-on time thing too, just because it's the size of a barnyard door. It's fucking huge. those back funnels from the Cubal 8 are pretty guaranteed unless you're like mid boosto to just like stun your ass.
But yeah, tons of beam barf. I'm up for it. Sounds
It's
good to
got to
me.
be like it has to be like those gifs where you just see the suit in the middle with just all these beams like looping around it. That'd be hilarious. It probably won't be to that extent, but like we got to aim high and just see
There you go.
how far they miss the mark when it actually comes out.
Dude, I feel like the banner is literally just gonna be that scene where it just does the beam barf.
Mm.
Like that kind of like picture.
You know,
of
I
it is
I
just
felt
too
the
good.
same way about the high mega cannon on the double Zeta, and that was a letdown. And that bitch can't even move compared to like the boosted mega launcher, which is goofy.
Oh my gosh.
Nah, don't worry. When the game
Just
walk
turn
comes
your
out, the
head.
games that turn the
Just
zone
turn
into
it.
enders.
Real talk.
Insert
I want this
fast-paced mecha game here.
Yes.
Zone of the Enders in terms of like its melee stuff. I'd love to see that actually come to this. I feel like that's like a good in between for like the way we're at right now for high cost space and like M-Bon or like extreme versus level, which is like Boosto and like ridiculous shit.
You know, back in the day, every time I hear somebody mention that game, I'm like, dude, I just remember some really cool like arcade robot games where it was that kind of style, and like they'd have the cool joysticks and everything, and you'd sit down, and I was like, yeah, this is so cool. You know, as a kid, that was just
Oh, like
like
virtual on and stuff like that back in the day.
like I don't even know what they were called. I just remember going to like the local arcade and they have those things, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm sitting in a robot seat. I'm piloting robots, so cool. And then that game came out, and I just remember every time the demo would be there in like Walmart or wherever,
Mhm.
and I would just be like, okay, I'm gonna go play this demo for 3 years while I wait.
Don't mind me. You'll know
Well, my
where I'm
mom
at.
does her shopping.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mhm.
And then so yeah, the and you know, and then by the time I was done, I'd have a broken neck, and I would be in pain.
Yes, very true.
But yeah,
Real talk. That's why I've been kind of on the fence to get a mount for the TV, just because like if I fuck up and put it too high, I'm just like,
but yeah, yeah, those games were legit. Yeah. But anyway, any other new suit speculation of any kind? Not just next week. Any other crazy thing? Actually, I'll say this. This completely destroyed the theory of waiting for when
Golden
did you
Week?
say? Yeah, Golden Week.
yeah. Well, okay. This is us acting like this is a surefire,
For sure.
Oh yeah.
right? And it may well be that this is a harbinger that we have to wait for until
That we have to
Golden
wait
Week.
for out now.
Yeah.
Because it's still, and that's the thing that I was thinking when we were talking about it. It feels like it's still too big of a suit to come out this early. And if they blow their load on this, what are they gonna have for Golden Week?
Something even cooler. I don't know.
We're starting to get to that point because we can do a lot of side stuff like Advance or like Sentinel and stuff. And there's probably a couple more we could dig out of those. Same with Double Zeta in general. But the question becomes whether or not Golden Week is gonna be where we see a new series get introduced, or if we're gonna wait for Anniversary.
Yeah, I see Char's counterattack being Anniversary for sure.
Mhm.
That's definitely new game
There's
start
a harbinger
menu
on that
thing.
leak list. Just saying.
Oh yeah, there you go. But like, I mean, yeah, it is true. We're kind of making it seem like a sure thing next week, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, this could be one where it ends up being later. But
It'll be disappointing if it's not, but also Golden Week. So, you know,
yeah,
they,
I mean,
they have a grace period for
it
it.
better
For sure.
like what would be hilarious though is it's like not next week, but it's like the week after for some reason.
Mhm.
Like what? Why?
Like, what have you done?
Stop blue balling me here. Come on, give me
Why
my
don't you just-
support.
Why don't you just be like the other version, regular version of the ag with no weapons and just drills? Surprise! Thought you guys wanted another low cost raid.
Oh my gosh. They just make a Zaku 1 version of the egg.
They just know they give us the fucking what's his name version of the Zaku one with the spike knuckles.
Yeah, I think that one is it Norris's Zaku
Yeah,
one?
Norris Packard's
Um,
version.
Yeah.
It just has like the same like knockdown straight, like charging straight that this strike has.
Mhm.
Like that's an easy one. I feel like that's an easy one to put in like that. Just make it a
I think
low
it'd be
cost
so
striker
free.
type.
Like we talked about before, if it's anything like it is on MSGO, that thing's a terror.
Yeah,
You'd be doing
let's
stuff
fucking
and just
go.
yeah, all of a sudden you just
Knuckles
explode
are
and
on
there's just
secondary. You just
fucking
see someone
Zaku one
jam
just
a-
like beat the
jam
shit
a
out of your
knuckle into your
teammate.
back and then chop you with an axe. Like fuck.
Yeah.
But,
knowing this game, they'd make it a fucking general though.
oh man, why? Ah.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
that's the
game off's
funny
gonna
thing
be
is-
it's gonna be a raid. So
Oh
you know,
no.
Oh, yeah.
no.
Oh my god, that'd be amazing if it was a raid.
Don't even joke. If
Because
it's
you know
somehow
what,
not
it
a
would
support,
be in direct. It would be in direct competition with the Zero Shiki and all other bullshit up top. Like, let's go. They'd just be eating fast as fuck.
if it's not a support, I'm just gonna
Game Hall's
cry.
pretty much just gonna be a stand user sitting still and then just shit blows up around it.
yes,
Yes.
Thando.
Yes. Speaking of that, though, by the way, that the
Yeah,
JoJo's
fucking-
game, the entire bundle, is like $8.99, I think, on PS4 right now.
Oh, I keep forgetting to look it up? God damn it!
That
I should check it out too.
And then
I'm just
Fist of the
gonna, I'm
North
just
Star.
gonna do it now. Oh my god! Because otherwise, I'm gonna forget.
But then they also have the Fist of the North Star, essentially Yakuza game. For
Yeah. That's the one I should nab up.
$10.
Yeah,
I think $9.99 on that one.
I forgot
So-
it's Steam. I'm dumb.
Wait, what? No, this is on.
I thought it was PSN. That's right.
Yeah, it's PSN. Both of these are PSN. Like I don't think either game actually is on Steam at all.
Mm. Well, yeah, Weeb Station. Sorry. I was like, I thought at least the Fist of the North Star was, but maybe not.
But
Actually,
Yeah.
I kind of want to see.
anyway, you guys want to go ahead and do some shoutouts? Got anything else?
Should
I
be good.
mean, we in there.
Okay. Gustav.
Okie dokie. Gustav the
Whoa.
13th.
Whoa.
Gustav _X triple I on most social media, including Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, as well as the old Twitch. We out here doing some Yakuza 6, trying to wrap things up before we move on to Like a Dragon, which will cap off our Yakuza Bonanza Marathon. Kind of hard to say. Still trying to keep up with the VODs. Today, Yakuza 3's finale just posted up over on YouTube. Gonna be moving on to putting in a bunch more stuff for 4. 5's taking a minute for me to chop up, mostly just because I'm a bum. But that'll get there too. And then also doing a lot of Valheim. I feel like I want to try to mix in some other games along with the secondary, just because there's a lot of stuff that comes out and I'm like, oh, I want to play it. But also there's all this other shit I need to do. And it's like, well, you have time. I'll never have more time later than I do right now because of the pandemic. So I might as well take advantage of it. So we're going to be trying to get in there. What about you guys?
Sorry, I placed fires in my walkway because I thought my boars were getting cold.
No, they're afraid of
And
fire.
one of them literally ran through the fire and burned to death
Oh my
after I
God.
got it tamed. Like, holy shit.
Oh no!
Holy fucking
Now
shit.
I know they say that they fear the flame, but I assume that was just hand torches. But maybe it applies to other things.
No, I put a campfire down.
and he's
That
like,
boar
"Oh."
ran through that and he is now dead. Like, that fire killed him and he did not stand a chance. And all I could do was watch him
Oh
die
my god!
What
in a
have you done?
bacon flavored fiery inferno. It was
It's
the
breaking.
worst. Like, oh my god. Like, I'm sorry we had to have that gruesome scene streamed on the internet. Like, oh my god, he just like died. I'm GamingEmblem. I stream video games on the internet and we are live from Zoom. I am not a pig murderer, but I may have watched one die. Currently playing Kaldheim or Waldheim with the boys. Mobile Suit Gundam Battle Cooperation. May also finish Yakuza 7 at some point in time. We're getting pretty close. Yeah, I just uploaded some videos to YouTube, some stream, pretty much some real uploads of the stream. So if you missed any, you don't like Twitch VODs, but YouTube's okay for whatever reason, you can check it out there. Twitch.tv, youtube.tv//GamingEmblem. Check it out.
I just noticed I was muted because I was laughing too much at the boar thing. Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's
Terrible, man.
Oh man, why did you do that? What have you done?
He did it to himself, okay? I was trying to be nice.
Murder.
But anyway, everybody's links and stuff will be down in the description below as usual. But yeah, I'm EG Magnum. I stream on Twitch, got a YouTube channel, Discord, Twitter, stuff like that. Trying to actually use Instagram, still failing to do so, even though I've finally got on my phone. But anyway, so yeah, gonna be doing probably more Valheim literally right after this, and maybe tomorrow. Master Chief Collection possibly coming up either tomorrow or this weekend or something. Finishing Halo 2 on Legendary. We've got like 4 missions left, I think, and then we're done with Halo 2, and then I think it's on to ODST after that. So if that's not tomorrow or sometime on the weekend, it'll be Monday. Then finally the final episode. So I'll have to have the title final episode part 3 of Baldur's Gate 3 with the current patch that we're on, because we thought we were going in the right direction, but somehow we ended up above ground again.
Oops.
Instead of finishing in the Underdark, because apparently it like the last thing you can do is in the Underdark. So I guess we'll run into that. Also, I now have Haggai, so whoops.
What?
My character has Haggai, which means I'm at disadvantage on a lot of things, and like attacking is hard. Oh, and I can't crit at all.
So there's diseases.
Well, this is no. I made a deal with a hag,
Eh.
and then she's like, yeah, I'm super powerful, but you know, it for a price, kind of thing. Which the problem is we came in through the back entrance. Like we came in to the quest. I was like, why am I having a conversation as if we already know each other? What?
Uh-oh.
So
I know all.
yeah, we broke the game. Because I decided to use teleport and Misty Step. But I decided to teleport into her house instead of us actually going there the normal way. And yeah, a weird conversation happened. And then I'm like, well, how does she know about the thing in my head? Well, you know what? If she's offering to get rid of it, I'll do that. And I was like, cool, this doesn't seem like it's... And then before I knew it, I was like, oh, she just transformed. Oh, she's big and green and ugly. Oh no.
Oh,
This is
no.
not why did we have to run into a hag? Oh my.
No.
And then yeah,
It was
so
actually the She-Hulk.
I was kind of, I expected something bad, but I didn't expect something that bad. And then I was just like, okay, time to kill her. And then she just leaves. And I'm like, no, you don't just get to leave. And
That's not how this works.
yeah, I was like, I'll keep the curse, but let me at least try to kill you. But anyway, we're close enough to the end of the game that I'm like, I wasn't going to push save scumming a little bit there on that one. And plus I cast spells. I don't have to crit. So mage things OP sometimes. But yeah, hopefully that'll be done. But anyway, and then Wednesday, tabletop should be happening again. People won't have like exam type things and stuff going on, and
I'll still have Hades, but I should be done with exams.
Wait, what?
Boo.
Nothing.
Boo.
I am not getting the reference right now.
Throw this man out.
You got me on that.
We're talking about people finishing up exams, and I said I'll still have Hades, but I should be done with exams.
Oh my
You know,
gosh!
like-
Oh no! No!
Jesus, dude.
Oh man!
There you go.
Be here all night until the end of the podcast.
Quick, let's wrap up. Oh my god, get out.
Ooh. Okay. Anyway,
Get us out of here.
And then podcast at 9 p.m. Eastern on Thursdays. Tabletop. But anyway, stuff like that. Anyway, boo this man in the comments down below for that one.
Please do.
Like, comment, subscribe, all that. Let us know also what you thought about the stuff we talked about in the comments.
Things, perhaps.
And things, yes. But anyway, guys, that'll be it for this one. Have a good one. Peace.
Later.
Have a good night.